A seed may be small enough to rest on the tip of a finger, but in it lives something enormous: memory, survival, tradition. Across Kenya, seeds have traveled from generation to generation, from farmer to farmer, from parent to child. Before laboratories and seed catalogs, farmers carefully selected seeds that thrived in their soil and under their skies. These seeds carried stories, stories of drought survived, stories of harvest celebrated, and stories of seasons remembered. Today, agriculture is changing rapidly. Science has introduced improved crop varieties. At the same time, traditional farmers still preserve traditional seeds, which are uniquely adapted to their local environments. In a time of changing climates and unpredictable weather, a variety of seeds is important for food resilience.
Right. So my name is Peter Osogo. I'm a patriot, Kenyan citizen. I'm very passionate about issues to do with food because my first degree was actually in agribusiness management. And so I got a lot of interest on issues to do with food and where does food come from and what does that mean for us as a society.
My name is Claire Nasiki Akello. I work as an agroecologist. I currently work at Christian Aid as the lead on climate adaptation and resilience. I also work as the founder of the Hummingbird Foundation. So the Hummingbird is a voluntary initiative that sets up food gardens for school-going children in the informal settlements. And these are organic food gardens.
My name is George Gunga. I'm an agriculture teacher here in Strathmore School. I teach in both junior and senior secondary. When it comes to seeds, is there any farmer who can sustain a harvest without seeds? Seeds, just like in our own families, they're the ones that maintain continuity. At the same time, when you're looking at the seeds, we don't just look at the seeds as just a part of a plant. It is the best part of a plant that sustains, and also is the one that maintains the population of our crops.
And someone may ask, why seed? But seed is the lifeline of a generation. From seed we get food. From seed our communities are nourished. From seed we have healthy schoolboys like you have here at Strathmore, because that's where the food that nourishes them comes from. I'll take you back to the COVID times when countries had closed their borders. There was no importation or exportation of seeds. So it's either as a country you have your own seeds or your people are going to die of hunger, because you can't depend on other countries when they've closed their borders because of a pandemic. And we saw that the farmers who kept their seeds are what sustained us. I remember during that time, must have been during President Uhuru's time, and he said that the local farmers are the ones who've been feeding Kenyans during this time of the pandemic. And so that just points down to seed being important, seed being the lifeline of our generation.
In fact, very interestingly, because I did agribusiness, we had units in economics, and they had a very interesting concept there that they called competitive advantage. And what basically that means is that if Uganda was good at planting matoke, for example, because probably the climate suits it well, and Kenya was good probably at making bicycles, the idea with the competitive advantage was that only Uganda to make matoke and only Kenya to make bicycles, and then you exchange. because it is more efficient for them to make matoke, to grow matoke, and for us to make bicycles. Then we have that exchange. But that disturbed me, because I asked myself, what would happen if Kenya went to war with Uganda? And Ugandans say, we are not selling you our matoke. So the assumption here is that it's only matoke that can be eaten, there's nothing else. And we only have bicycles, so we cannot eat bicycles. And that's when now, after doing a bit of research, I came across that topic that is called seed sovereignty, that then allows you control over the food that you eat, over what you plant as a society. And so just going back to that same example, then I would say Kenyans should also plant matoke even if we are doing it inefficiently. Why? Because we need control over the food that we are eating.
Hello, my name is Austin Muniu from Strathmore School, grade 10 Aleph. For me, seeds haven't been something I thought of, even in the slightest. But I think after talking to my agriculture teacher and doing my own personal research, I came to understand and be more deeply interested about what seeds truly are. When I think about seeds, I think about how the very small things in life can truly transform into something important. I mean, seeds start off very small, but they grow into these large crops that even feed people all over the world. I think it just truly comes to show us how important the things are. I mean, without seeds, we wouldn't have food to eat and things to enjoy on our plates every single day.
Seed is mighty. It is so small, but very, very mighty. What makes it powerful is if we don't have seeds, we don't have food. And we need to eat, right? For you to be here to run your activities, you need to eat. You can't be here if you've not eaten properly, right? Where does that food come from? From the seed. Yeah. So if you have the seed, you have everything you need for your life to run smoothly. And that's why they say the seed is the lifeline of a generation.
The story of seeds today is not simply a choice between tradition and science. Modern agriculture has brought about great improvements in the agricultural sector. Yet, traditional seeds still carry knowledge about valuable lessons. Farmers who preserve these seeds do not only preserve knowledge, but knowledge that was transferred from generation to generation about experience on the land.
So in simple terms, traditional seeds are those seeds that your grandmother found in that area where she lives. Nobody brought them. They just originally originated from there. The environment in that place actually suits those seeds. And so you'll find that over thousands and thousands and thousands of years, in certain areas, certain seeds grew and they adapted to that environment. So when we're talking about traditional seeds, we are talking about those seeds that have, over the years, adapted to that particular environment. However, we have had advances in technology. And these advances in technology have allowed scientists, they've allowed businesses to modify certain seeds. And they would modify them with a particular angle. They would say, for example, I want to take this maize seed and I want to make it more resilient to pests. Very, very good ideas. However, there's one little small problem. And the problem is that they remove the regenerative gene from that seed. What does that mean? It means if I plant today that seed, I'm going to harvest a lot of produce at the end of the harvest season. But I cannot take that seed again and save a little bit. Remember we talked about saving the seed and replanting? I cannot replant that seed again. And in the event that I do, I'm going to get probably 75% of the crop. And if I replant it again, I get 30%, for example. So it continues going down. So that is the commercially done seed that's there today.
In recent years, Kenya has found itself reflecting upon the matter of traditional seeds. A legal case reached the High Court questioning seed regulations. In 2025, the High Court gave a ruling that allowed traditional farmers to keep these traditional seeds.
Communities would complain the seeds they buy from the agrovet shop sometimes don't grow. Sometimes they are very expensive, and some of them would say, oh, we keep our own seeds, the ones we grow, we can be able to regrow them after each planting season. So in my research, I came across the law that we have in Kenya today, the Seed and Plant Varieties Act, that actually makes it illegal for farmers to sell, share and exchange indigenous seeds. So indigenous seeds are the local seeds that are not certified. You see, the seeds in the agrovet shops have already undergone a certification process, so they're labeled, but the indigenous seeds don't go through the certification process. So these ones are seeds the farmers save by themselves, they breed and then they exchange amongst themselves. So we had that law up until last year, November 2025, when the court ruled that sections of that law were unconstitutional. That campaign was called Seed is Sovereign. So nobody can control the seed. It's communities that own the seed. Seed is a common. Seed is like water. It's like air. You can't control commons there. They are communally owned.
For young people, the conversation about seeds is also a conversation about the future. Tomorrow, our agricultural sector will face new challenges, challenges of climate change, challenges of population growth. Meeting these challenges will require both innovation and wisdom.
Protecting many different types of seeds is very important. I mean, did you know that maintaining this biodiversity would help all the farmers combat things like pests, diseases, and healthcare challenges that come with us eating one particular type of food? I mean, protecting these many types of seeds allows the farmers to actually have a very diverse range of foods to choose from, and us to have a more strong and sustainable food base.
I'm addressing the young people. You know, you are so energetic. And at this age of explosion of knowledge, I think time has come to get into the farm and you bring out of the soil the very best, which comes from your own knowledge. And also employ simple techniques that will make productivity high and so increase the food basket.
I mean, as a young person in society, for the longest time, I've always thought that agriculture had to be this very, very boring subject. But I think after taking my time to research into it, I truly got to understand the value of what agriculture is. I mean, agriculture is where everything stems from, the food we eat every day. I mean, without that, we literally wouldn't have anything, including our day-to-day lives.
So I want to see a community where children grow and realize their potential because they are well taken care of. They eat good food. Because everything else starts from food. Our well-being starts from food. And we get food from seed. So if we can take care of our seed, we can take care of our children, we can take care of our communities.
A seed does not ask who planted it. It does not argue about the past or about policy. It simply grows, carrying the memory of the soil that nurtured it, in the hands of scientists, in the hands of farmers, in the hands of young people alike. The future of food continues to unfold, one seed at a time.